In case you weren't aware, Dwayne Wade wants to bring back the murse. That's right. He wants to bring back that episode of the Boondocks where Riley completely got turned inside out and had no idea what was going on. He wants to bring that back. He wants to go back to the era where LeBron took his little skinny purse or whatever and walked in the most sus way up off of the set. You got LeBron, he walked off the set with the little mini purse. That's what Dwayne Wade wants to return. When LeBron had the high water suit on and the mini purse, it's like, what are we doing? Anthony Mackie has said it best. It's funny considering it came from Anthony Mackie, who performed one of the gayest things I've ever seen in an episode of Black Mirror, where him and his boy entered a game so they could bang each other heterosexually, but they were both guys. It was strange. One of them was the chick, the other one was the guy. They had these same real feelings and stuff like that. Apparently he could feel the sensations of being a woman inside the game. It was wild. It did the whole episode. It was truly Black Mirror. I mean, if anything was Black Mirror, that episode was it. I mean, Jesus Christ, it was strange. Well, anyway, Anthony Mackie, despite all of that happening in that episode, said some very strong truths about masculinity.
I keep my boys humble. My boys have never had a pair of Jordans. My boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Mm-hmm. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he's going to straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. Mm-hmm. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing. Yeah. So you got to have a little guard in there, And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different. I've been in business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that and this is fresh on my heart, I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off.
Can't think of one thing I disagree with that take. I can't. And I think it's also true. We be telling people all the time, but we see it each and every day. Work hard. This is why I get so mad at people when they say manifest, say it's going to happen. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not the only person that exists. Telling somebody to go manifest something is telling them to go be a narcissist. Manifest it. You control it. You're the main character. No, you're not. The other person will have to manifest that same thing for it to happen. Manifest you getting that job. Well, how am I supposed to just manifest that when I'm literally not the person who puts in the paperwork? Are they going to just have a, oh my God, I think somebody else wants this job better than them. So I'm going to choose that person because I can feel the manifestation. That has never happened ever. So anybody who's walking around with that delusion just pisses me off. I hate it. I really do. It's delusional to think you can just manifest stuff. To think you can just make stuff happen because you believe. We all believe stuff. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I really thought I was going to go on to be a great college athlete. Didn't happen. And I mean, I believed it, worked hard, put in the grind, the blood, sweat, and tears, dealt with some BS high school coaches, some people who put me through some stuff. I mean, it wasn't just me, it was the rest of the team. And I mean, I withstood it and did it with ease while other people literally were about to drop dead on the field, drop dead at practice because of how they were treating us out there like the Junction Boys, because they were trying to make us win. And yet we were still going 2-8. It didn't make a lick of sense. Out there had us in boot camps, basically did everything but beat our ass out there and not give us water like it was some slaves. And it wasn't an all black team. It was just, the team was just what it was. Everybody suffered. But I'm just saying it was a mess. And to think that I did all of that and got nothing in return. Nothing. I didn't go to college. Coaches didn't vouch for me, and I was a good student. They would rather go to bat for a kid who had no chance at college based on his GPA, could barely graduate or get a GED, than vouch for me with somebody with the same amount of talent and actually a capable student. You know why? I have no idea. No clue. I guess we weren't kissing enough booty and donating enough money to the booster club. But the point being is, once again, doesn't matter about the hard work, and that was the point about Anthony Mackie. It's just if you're chosen. I wasn't even the only one who put myself through that amount of hard work. Somebody else did, and they were chosen. And it made a lot more sense probably to them when they were chosen, because it's like, man, I put in all that grind, all that time, all that effort, all those extra hours after practice I committed to my teammates, and they made it. They made it to college, maybe even made it to the league, because somebody did choose them. Just like he said on that Pivot podcast, it's true. Just like in acting roles, dude, I have an acting class and I see some of the most talented people every week. Never going to get a chance, some of them. At least not at anything big, probably. And I wish the best for us all. Very talented. But guess what? It's about who's chosen. One of my good friends who plays in the new Dexter series, he told me he just got lucky. He auditioned 1,000 different times, many different gigs, many different jobs. Didn't get them. Just happened to walk into that audition and Ethan Hawke was like, I like you. And it's like, oh my God, really? He was just as talented in all the other interviews. But guess what? Auditions. He was just the same in those probably. They just like, we like somebody else. We want to give them their shot. I like them. That's how it goes. It's not about the hard work. It's not. Opportunity, success, all that stuff is given. Now, obviously, you can't just give somebody an opportunity and they're unprepared for it. You know, like the whole success is it meets hard work when it's prepared and all that stuff. I can't get it quite right off the top of my head right now. But
what's the saying? Success is when luck meets preparation.
Yep. The whole point of the saying is, yeah, when you're given an opportunity, usually you're ready for it. You know, that's why you were given that opportunity. Well, no, sometimes people are given opportunities and they suck and they crash out. They cause everybody to quit the job. They cause the company to lose a bunch of money. They're a liability. They cause lawsuits because they can't stop touching ass, you know what I'm saying? And they can't stop hitting on all the chicks or even guys. I don't know. There's a lot of situations where this stuff happens. It just does. It's just wild to me that is the case. Talking about masculinity, hard work, it's all fading. Dwayne Wade wants to bring it back.
You honestly have a merse.
Yeah, I've been carrying a merse for a very long time.
Look at this.
Well, where y'all find these photos? That's when I was wearing it across my body. There we go. Look at that.
Wait, are y'all in Paris?
Yeah, you know,
That's
Fashion Week.
That's like schoolgirl chic or something right there.
Yeah, listen, I don't understand. Like, men, we normally have to put our wallets and our phones and our money and everything in our pockets. Listen, I pay a lot for these clothes. I am not trying to walk out like that. Yeah. So now I get to put stuff in the bag.
Oh, here's your merse.
See,
I defended Dwayne Wade for years, and he has just continuously let me down. He has proven to be more and more into male booty each and every time I see him speak. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. And I know he's married to Gabrielle, and Gabrielle is beautiful. And you would think, why would you ever get tired of hitting that? Well, look, if you got other interests, you got other interests. And apparently Dwayne Wade has been openly telling us that he has other interests. Dwayne Wade is all for it. And I mean, look, I'm glad. I see people hate on Dwayne Wade for some of these things, but I like Dwayne Wade because he is him. He believes everybody deserves an opportunity. If you want to be your best self, be it. And that I do support about Dwayne Wade. But don't bring back the merse. I'm sorry, we can't bring that back. That needs to be burned.
Look at that merse.
I just walk like this, I carry my little merse.
I feel like you're bringing the merse back.
Bring it back? Let's do it.
Right?
Why not?
That needs to be thrown all the way out there in the Texas killing fields. We don't need to see that shit. I don't want to see another bro pretending that he doesn't like dingling and he's carrying around a purse. I'm sorry, you can't sell me on that. You can't be a guy who's walking around here in a mini skirt and tell me that you like women. I refuse to believe it. I just refuse to believe it. That's all I'm saying. And like I said, none of this matters. It's just interesting to talk about because Dwayne Wade is facing heat. And now everybody's like, look, dude, just get out the closet. We didn't realize you were trapped in there with Myron so long, but apparently y'all been in there together. Y'all both were in Miami. Might still, I don't know where Dwayne is, but I'm assuming he might still be in Miami. Probably done really banged and bumped into Myron. Not like, literally, but who knows? I don't know. The world's weird, but small world too. But that's where we're at. Dwayne wants to bring back the merse and people ain't having it. Anthony Mackie is like, I am sick of them taking the man out of everything. So like we saw all the superhero movies. Where are the bros? Where are the men? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I love a good female protagonist like the rest of them. I'm telling people like my favorite characters in video games were chicks. Like, I mean, they were. My favorite playthrough in Mass Effect was the female playthrough. It's better than the guys. And I mean, obviously I played the guys first, but when I went through as the chick, it was more fun. It was just more fun, more dialogue options, more shit. It was better. Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Resident Evil, those are some of my favorite heroines. People love Tomb Raider. If you write a really great female protagonist, it will work. But I don't know. We seem to stray away from that now. We seem to not want to do that. And I find that odd. Or the fact that like in the newer movies, once again, no men, just masculine women playing heroes. And if you're really trying to sell a product, that's what you do. It's sort of like why certain content creators always cape up and start doing certain things for certain segments of their audience because they believe that's what's going to grow the most and get them the most money. And it makes the most sense if you're trying to run it like a business. You produce what is going to make the most money. Now, if you're doing it for the love of the game, like many content creators are trying to get back to doing, then you do what you feel is right. But you don't do it with some agenda at hand. You just do it off the top of the dome and you say, hey, you just go for it. But I don't know. Once again, another random rant, just out here yapping, talking about Dwayne and merses and femininity of men. I mean, that's why we got so many dudes out here struggling, crashing out, lost, confused. Most of them don't know how to handle their emotions because they don't know if they should be hardened or they should be soft or if they should be kind or if they should be brutal. Most of these people, they don't know what real discernment is. They don't know how to balance these things out. They don't know how to process it. Nobody goes and talk to people about serious things. Like the big thing, the one problem we do have as men is, especially black men, we don't talk to each other about serious shit. Everything has to be jokes and games and ha 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 ha. When it's like, dude, maybe out of the 365 days a year that exist, maybe you should take out, 45 minutes to an hour to have an important discussion about something that matters, something that might trigger you to having some emotion, something that makes you actually feel stuff inside. Stop masking everything. Masking everything with whether it's drinking or just, coping, whether it's comedies or video games or weed or coke, doesn't matter. Stop it. Have a conversation, a serious one every now and then, and you might actually grow from it. Also, don't get so easily triggered. That's going to be another video in itself, the whole easily triggered thing. Because look, I am not one who is easily triggered whatsoever. And that used to not be the case. I could get fired up with just the rest of them. Be just as easily rage baited, race baited, click baited. Fall for it every time. Till you mature. Maturity happens at whatever age you mature. There is no set time or reason, table, whatever. It's just when you actually mature. Some people never do it. You can be 70 years old and never be a mature individual. Doesn't matter how old you are. Could be just as immature as the next guy. But yeah, that's going to be a different video in itself. See you soon.